And Dimas City Council meeting for March 26th will come to order. Please rise and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council is all seated. We're going to do a recognition of the Adler's-Danlos syndromes HSD Awareness Month. There is no person present at the council meeting, so we'll just read the proclamation and let them know that we are very supportive. Whereas elders, and I don't pronounce it properly, so please forgive me, Danlos syndromes, EDS, are a group of 13 herbal connective tissue disorders that together affect 1 in every 5,000 people. Each type of EDS has its own set of symptoms, but some features are seen across all types of EDS, including joint, hematurmelia, skin, I wish I was a doctor, hyperextensibility, and tissue fatigue. Whereas there is no cure for this type of EDS or HSD, the condition are managed by addressing a person's symptoms. EDS and HDS can cause a variety of symptoms in many different areas of the body. So people with these conditions often require multiple providers in different specialties to manage their care. Whereas awareness about EDS and HSD are both medical professionals and the general public can help improve the lives of people living with EDS and HSD in San Dimas in California. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Emmett G. Badar, Mayor Pro Tem Ryan Vienna, Council members John Ebner, Eric McConnell, and Eric Weber hereby proclaim the month of May 2024 as Ehlers-Danlos syndromes and hypothermia spectrum disorders Awareness Month in the city of San Dimas. In witness thereof, I, Mayor Emmett G. Badar, have hereon set my hand and caused the seal of the city of San Dimas to be affixed this 26th day of March 2024. We'll get a copy of this proclamation to them. Thank you. We'll go to oral communications. Members of the audience are invited to address the City Council on any item on this agenda or not on this agenda. Public comment will be not taken during each individual agenda item except for public hearing items. Comments on on public hearing items will be heard when that item is scheduled for discussion. Under the provisions of the Brown Act, the legislative body is prohibited from engaging in discussion on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. However, your concerns may be referred to the staff or set for discussion at a later date. Each speaker will be limited to speaking once for up to 3 minutes. Right now, we'll call on Vicky Paul. Hang on. Let's have Vicky Paul go. As Mayor Morris said many times, I have a script. Vicky's a representative from Supervisor Catherine Barger's office.
Good afternoon. My citizens and citizens of San Dimas. Is it there? Is that better?
Better.
Okay, wonderful. Well, it is my pleasure to recognize Councilmember John Ebner and his 34 years of service to this city and to the community at large. Looking through your biography is amazing. The things that you have done being involved in the Southern California Association of Governments, SCAG, the San Gabriel Valley Council of Governments, COG, and Metro Gold Line Foothill River and Mountains Conservancy, Bonita Unified School District. You have influenced every aspect of life in this city and in the surrounding community for 34 years. I don't know of anyone, hardly any people that can say that, and that is truly an amazing feat. And I love Mayor Emmett's quote that our city may be losing his leadership, but rest assured, our community will continue to benefit from his wisdom. So your legacy and what you have done will live on, and not many people can say that, and that is truly a testament to who you are. Being an elected official is very difficult. You have to deal with a lot of different issues and walk a straight line and be fair, and it's not for the faint at heart. So I want to thank you on behalf of LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger for what you have done for this community and what your impact will continue to do, because it doesn't stop with you retiring. So thank you so much. It is my honor to present you with this proclamation of commendation for 34 years of dedication and service.
Thank you, Vicki.
Thank you. Where do you want it? Over here? Okay.
Mr. Wasserman, I know you have a very important announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Scott Wasserman, Director of Parks and Recreation. I have a brief announcement. This Saturday, we had planned the annual Easter egg hunts at Villa Verde Park and Civic Center Park at 10 o'clock. Because there is a 80 to 90% chance of rain, we don't want to cancel Easter, so we're actually going to move the event into indoors, into the Plummer Building next door. So that'll be at 10 o'clock. It'll be the same time as the event, but instead of going to the parks, the event will be held indoors. And it won't be so much of an egg hunt, but kids can come by, they can grab Easter bags full of eggs and also take their photos with the Easter Bunny. So we're not canceling Easter, we just moved it indoors.
Thank you.
So, thank you.
Okay, anyone, any speakers?
Kenny Souza from San Dimas Village Apartments.
All right, is this guy on? Good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Kenny Souza. I wanted to first thank you folks for being elected officials. I know that's a tough job. I also come from city government, about 10 years at the town of Apple Valley, so thank you folks. I definitely respect what you do and sit on those podiums each and every week. I'm here tonight on behalf of the San Dimas Village Apartments. There's been a lot of crime and vandalism, particularly in the last 3 or 4 months, and I'll go ahead and just quickly read off a few dates here. My girlfriend, Wendy, joins me here tonight. She's in the audience, and when she first moved in there a few years ago, her car was vandalized in September of 2022. Last year, in September of 2023, my truck was broken into and also vandalized. We were sort of parked in that lot, and there was about 4 or 5 vehicles that were vandalized that night. And it gets worse. Last week, her car itself was stolen straight out of the parking lot there. That's her only method of transportation. That's a significant loss to us and how she gets to work every day on time, and just a significant loss there. We've been in contact with LA County PD. I understand the city contracts with them and as they're part of their public safety policy. And I just wanted to bring this to you folks' attention. I knew that that's sort of one of the best methods that I was used to when I worked for the city, and just wanted you folks to be aware of that as well. So if there's any further information that I can provide or anything that we can do, we love this city. We want to continue being here and living here, and that public safety is definitely a concern of ours as of now. So that's my only comments. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, that was the only speaker card turned in.
Okay. Anyone wishing to speak to the council at this time, feels free to step up. Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion unless a member of the city council requests separate discussion. Anyone? Seeing none, John, this is your last chance.
My last chance. I'm always removing things from the consent calendar. How about going over the warrant register line by line?
Thanks, John.
So I'll move approval of the consent calendar.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Hearing none, motion carries 5-0. Okay. That's the end of the consent calendar. Members of the audience, you guys will have to excuse me. Members of the audience, speakers are limited to 3 minutes and may be determined by the chair. In case you didn't figure it out, that's the next item, and we're getting already close to being done. Okay. Anyone wishing to speak to the council? Well, here comes Margie.
I would just like to say thank you, John, for all the years. The different things that I've been involved with throughout the years, the Chamber of Commerce, the Historical Society, the Festival of Arts. Just thank you for all you have done for all the different committees and things around town. Western Days, we've enjoyed your family. We're enjoying your family tonight. But I just couldn't let the evening go by without saying thank you, John, for your 34 years. I was only 10 years old when you started, so I do appreciate it very much, and we hope to have you on more committees as it goes along. We're not letting you off that easy. Thank you very, very much for your 34 years.
Thank you, Margie.
Thank you, Margie. Anyone else wishing to speak to the council at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to city reports. City manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tomorrow night at 5 p.m. in the Senior Center multipurpose room, the city will be holding an outreach meeting related to the downtown parking to gain input on parking strategies to keep the municipal lots free from Gold Line, A-Line commuter parking. This will be the first meeting to solicit that input, and there will be more to come, as well as a survey to solicit more input from business owners and residents as to what they want to see in the downtown with regards to parking. City staff will also discuss modifications to the trash enclosures in the municipal lots to prevent illegal dumping and provide potential for better security of those trash enclosures. Secondly, the city's Humane Society, Inland Valley Humane Society, has a distemper outbreak at their shelter, which will be impacting their operations. Effective a few days ago, Inland Valley will be operating on an emergency basis for intake of dogs only. Dogs that are sick or injured will continue to be picked up, but for dogs that appear healthy, Inland Valley advises residents to make every attempt to reunite the dog with its owner prior to calling Inland Valley. At this time, Inland Valley is anticipating the shelter to be closed for general intake of dogs for about 2 to 4 weeks. Inland Valley will remain open for other operations, including adoptions on an appointment basis, reunification of pets with their owners, and in-person assistance with licensing on a modified basis, ensuring limited foot traffic throughout the shelter to help mitigate the spread of illness. And in my last update, I want to speak specifically to John, and I'm sure you'll hear me speak again. John has served for 34 years on this council, which is more than half the incorporated life of the city, which is a very significant accomplishment. John also serves as the longest-standing council member right now in the entire San Gabriel Valley, beating out the next one, council member from Duarte, by only a few months, and she's none too happy to take the reins of the #1 spot after John retires. But John was part of the city council that actually hired me into the city. And while I visited the city prior to being hired and talked to residents and got that feel for the community feel for what we had as San Dimas, I didn't expect that community feel and love and acceptance would also come from every one of the city council members and their entire families, including John's. It's a very different feel to be an executive and have families of the councils taking you in and treating you like you're part of the family and supporting you being new to the community. And John, I want to say that your family has been very gracious and loving in that respect. I definitely will remember the numerous tours that John and I have taken through the city, whether we're looking at trees or areas where we can make improvements on bicycle safety or traffic or parking. I will definitely say I have a newfound respect for trees, knowing how lovingly supportive the community has been and the council has been for trees in this community. And I learned more at John's tours through the town that, my head's still spinning from the amount of knowledge gained from that. But John, I will say, while you will not be on the council, your impact will be seen. And I know you're extremely humble about all the accomplishments that you have and the desires of what you want to accomplish as a city. I can say the reason that we're here today is because of leadership of council members like you that stayed the course and didn't try to follow every other city around us quickly to modernize and do things differently than maintain a very strong single-family community where we love to live and we love to play and raise our families with great schools, incredibly low crime, and an environment that community comes together with events with people that come from all over the region. So John, thank you for your service, and we will definitely continue to remain friends for years to come. With that, Mr. Mayor,
Thank you, Chris.
Any questions from city? What are you?
I was actually just hoping for an update on the public health department efforts of Covina. I'm just kidding.
City attorney?
Thank you, Mayor. I also just want to take a moment to briefly say to John Ebner, it has been an honor to serve with you for the last few years that I've been here at the city. I have enjoyed every minute of it. I think you are an incredible advocate for this community that you care so much about, and I want to thank you for your service.
Thanks a lot, Jeff.
Members of the City Council, council members' reports on meetings attended at the expense of the local agency. Hearing none. Ryan?
Oh, all right. Cool. A couple things. One is I just wanted to congratulate all of the young people who participated in the City Olympics a couple weeks ago. I think most of us got out there and saw that wonderful event, and wanted to commend staff and the volunteers. Quite a number of volunteers help out with that event, but it was just great seeing everyone get out there and give it their all. So well done, and appreciate the information. And, I think that as we continue to have that event, there were people that had never seen it before actually this year, which was kind of a surprise talking to them. But it seems like every year people are getting invited by their nieces or nephews or grandkids and showing up. So well done, good job, and look forward to continuing that tradition in the community. I wanted to congratulate the sheriff's station on your Baker to Vegas run, and also Council Member Weber, who ran as well in Baker to Vegas. I got roped into running very last minute from my station, and Captain Ash gave me some thumbs up as I was in the middle of my 6-mile run in the middle of the desert, passing a helipad, praying for a ride. But nevertheless, we got to the end of it and appreciated the encouragement and so many great athletes, but our people from San Dimas and Walnut Station did an amazing job. Councilmember Weber's team also mugged, which means they placed and did a really good job too. We weren't in last, so we were happy with that result, and we finished. So anyways, lastly, John, I was trying to find the Stanford tree mascot costume to wear tonight for you, but that didn't really work out. I looked all over eBay. It was funny. I ran in part because of you. And at a time when I was coming to the council meetings and, learning more and more about what was going on, and really wanted to understand more and really got motivated to learn more about the city, learn more about, different perspectives of the respective council members that were up here. And one day I remember you came down and you had told me, you're like, we really should have just required that all to be one project. And you were talking about it from the perspective of harmony of the development overall. And while I may not have agreed with it, and I still may not agree with it, I understand, and I have since understood where you came from with that. And over the course of, the now over 8 years, it looks like that we've been here together, they say friction creates diamonds. And I have to laugh because if anybody is most similar but different from me perhaps up here in terms of resolute convictions, it's probably you. And I think that we've had a lot of differences, and we've actually worked together on a lot of things. I actually was going back, and I intend to say some other things later on at another event for you, but we've agreed, I think, on more things actually than we haven't. And I think that the things that we haven't agreed on have resulted in things that have been more beneficial to the city. And your development eye is insane. I rely on you, so there's going to be a void in terms of some of your aesthetics and your standards that I think with you not here, similar to when we saw Mayor Morris and Councilmember Bertone leave. Every time a council member, sadly, I've now seen 2 retire. You'll be the 3rd. You just think about them and you think about what would they do or what would their thoughts be. And you are someone that anytime I look at a development or I look at a zoning issue, I always wonder where you're going to be at, because I know you're thoughtful, you're smart, you're thorough, and you're determined to do what's right for the city. And I know I have never questioned ever that your intentions were ill or any which way. You've always had the best for the city at heart. And even in closed sessions, you have been nothing but the same you've been out here, committed and, stood your ground, and you've worked with others when you needed to too. And so I'm going to miss you, oddly enough. I think, and I agree, everyone knows for you and the legacy of the Ebners, this has been a family affair all the way along. And I did very much enjoy working with your family on a couple specific projects that we made some wild progress on. And I'm saddened that didn't pan out the way we all hoped. But I can say that civics is clearly something that is important in your family. And it is something that we should all hope to be able to continue to convey to the generations to come. Congratulations, and I look forward to, I know you're not going away, as I'm sure you're going to say in a little bit, but I hope I could call you in the future for some perspective on things.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Anything further? Mr. Weber.
I don't know how I feel about this new order that we're going in. I don't know. It just feels, I don't know, wrong? I don't know. We'll see. As Councilmember Vienna said, we did participate in Baker to Vegas this weekend, and so did the San Dimas Walnut team, who was in the same category as my team. And like I said before, we were adversaries for a weekend, but I think we can probably bury that hatchet. I'll have to bring by some coffee or some snacks or something like that, bring by the station as a symbol of peace. But it was a really fun event, and I'm glad to see that our station was out there representing the city and having a good time. And to John, as people have pointed out, John's been elected to the city council for since 1990, and that's, again, 34 years. And that 34 years, like Chris was saying, is longer than half the time the city's been incorporated, which is pretty amazing. That means that you've had your hands involved in a lot of things that has shaped the city into what it is today and why people love to live here. And people very much genuinely do come to San Dimas because they love the atmosphere here. And so many cities in the San Gabriel Valley have lost a little bit of that touch of the small town feel that people flocked to the Eastern San Gabriel Valley for. So that is a testament to the work that you've done over the last 34 years and the work that I hope that we continue as a council to maintain that atmosphere in the city. And it's not easy. You know, funny story, shortly after I got elected, I went on a ride-along at San Dimas Station, and I was waiting in the lobby, and I was looking around at photos and trophies and plaques on the wall and such. And a black and white photo caught my eye. And it was of a, young, good-looking man that was up on the wall there. And as I looked closer, imagine my surprise that it's a picture of John Ebner. You were the only council member on the wall in the station lobby there to have a black and white photo still. So I don't know if that was a like old Western photo that you took at Knott's Berry Farm that you had hung up on the wall in there, but it was in stark contrast. I was like, holy cow, this guy has been on the council forever.
I think color was just coming in about that.
But that was a funny story. I got a chuckle out of that. I genuinely was surprised when I got closer and read the name plaque. But, it does take a lot to be a member of the city council, let alone to do it for 34 years. And that's a lot of dedication, a lot of time that you've put in, and that will be sorely missed. So I've very much enjoyed working with you for the last 4 years. And as Ryan said, I'm sure you're not going away. I'm sure there will be discussions that you and I will have in the future on certain, goings on in the city. And I hope we do, because you have a valuable perspective. I enjoy hearing it. And, there are a lot of things that you've said that weren't quite in my mind, but really resonated with me and were things that I can get on board with. And that's the kind of thing that is really valuable when it comes to working with a group of people that have diverse ideas and views. So I really appreciated that. I wish you a very happy, healthy, and long retirement. I guess it's a second retirement. There was the first one, now there's this one. So again, thank you for everything, and we'll see you around.
Thanks, Eric.
Mr. Nakano.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to take this opportunity to pay tribute to our colleague and my dear mentor and friend who has served our city with distinction for over 34 years. I know I speak for all of us when I say that we are grateful to you, Councilman John Ebner, for your service and dedication. It's easy to list the things that you did to make our community better. Prior to your election in 1990, you founded the Pioneer Park Home Association, served on the San Dimas General Plan Advisory Committee, and advocated for more green space, even though you had only made this city your home 5 years prior. As a council member on the dais and in closed sessions, you helped revitalize our city's centers of commerce, helping both small businesses and overseeing the opening of tax-generating stores such as Target and Costco and more, renovated our downtown, planned for the arrival of Metro, and improved our parks and roads. You were the leading voice in ensuring that our city zoning preserved the city's small-town feel and that new construction fit into the city's architectural legacy. and you were a tireless advocate for trees, ensuring that our town remained a place known for embracing and celebrating our arboreal heritage. But even with your record of accomplishments, I believe your greatest legacy is your exceptional commitment to your values and principles. I once heard that values only mean something when you are willing to stand by them when it is inconvenient. You exemplify this. When faced with disagreement, you never wavered in your convictions, voting the way that your heart and moral compass told you to. And while you may have occasionally found yourself on the losing side of a 4-1 vote, your unwavering integrity has earned you the respect and admiration of your colleagues and your community. Along with your principled leadership, your friendliness, kindness, and willingness to lend a listening ear and extend a helping hand have left a lasting impression on all who have known you. You are, and always have been, an approachable and compassionate public servant, and your genuine warmth and interest in the well-being of all residents, even those who may have disagreed with you from time to time, have ensured that all had a voice on the City Council. Nelson Henderson once said, "The true meaning of life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit." As you conclude your tenure on our City Council and enjoy your well-deserved time off with your beautiful wife, Lori, your 4 children, Beth, Christine, Phil, and Anthony, and grandchildren, I, along with all of us, express our gratitude for your service, leadership, and the countless trees you've planted under whose shade we enjoy and benefit from. Thank you, John, for all that you've done. I will miss you greatly and wish you the best of luck in your next chapter in life.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you very much.
Well, there's so many things I could say, but having the responsibility of being the mayor, I thank these guys for saying everything that I could say. The reality is that we're going to have, at the next meeting, there'll be more accolades and things that we all believe in John about what he's done. I just want to relate back to the fact it's been an absolute pleasure. Since the day I got elected, John has been there guiding me, helping me. I learned more about trees than I ever wanted to know. And now I feel like I can, at least, I'm looking for that tree that we can sit under, okay? And the little doggy pooch water fountain that we're working on, as John had wanted to bring forward. He has been pushing very hard to get a water fountain where you can have a drink of water and your pooch can have a drink of water and sit on a bench in Community Park and enjoy that. I just wanted to say that, as I said, there will be more time the following council meeting to make some presentations and to spend some time with it. I just want to relate back about 3 or 4 months ago. I was at home minding my own business. John called me up, and I want to tell you, they don't get many calls from John. But he called me and he says, "Can I talk to you?" And I said, "Sure." He said, "Are you sitting down?" And I go, "Yep, I'm sitting down." And he said, "I just wanted to tell you and let you know myself that I have decided not to run." My brain went to, he's decided not to run for mayor. Okay? But then he says to me, immediately says, "I've decided that I'm not going to run for anything." And I was shocked. I had nothing that I could say, because John and I have sit on this council for about 17 years together, and he also was one of the people who appointed me to the Planning Commission and to Public Safety before that. And so we have a long history, and I didn't really stop to think about it until after John and I had hung up the phone about what am I going to do without his ear for I could talk to and listen to. And I will say that we've sat on this council for a long period of time, and I'm not even sure that John and I ever shared a cup of coffee. John is a very private person. He enjoys his family, and he speaks here so that everybody can hear and know what's going on in his life as far as his beliefs. And I think that's very admirable. His children were raised here. I think, Philip, you correct me, did you have to get a permit to come across the border from Claremont?
Security was tough.
But his family has done very well. All of his children have graduated from college, and they should be very proud of that. And they should be proud of the man that has raised you. He come from a family of fairly substantial size, 50, 60?
Yeah, around that.
So the reality is that I just want to say that, John, I appreciate all the help you've done over this, all the years that I've been around. And it's be very lonely up here not being able to talk to you, and I got to just listen to these guys, okay? But thank you. Thank your family for allowing us to share with you. When Councilman Bertone retired, you immediately jumped into the SCAG and the Council of Governments for us, and we appreciate that. And as I said earlier, there'll be more to come. This is only stage one of probably 2 or 3. So thank you very much. And normally I would be the last one to speak, but John said that he wanted to make sure that we didn't get out of here much before midnight. So he asked to speak last. John,
Yeah, you remember that scene from Miracle on 34th Street where they bring the bags and bags of mail in there? Well, I think that's my speech in those bags, so settle in. Before I start, I wanted to give a shout out to the 3 youngest members of the audience tonight because I see them out there, and I just want Felix Ebner. Can you raise your hand, please? Thank you. Julian Ebner, can you raise? There he is, right away. And the littlest one there with Jigglypuff that's not my wife's name, that's the Stuffy's name, is Lucia. Lucia, can I see you there?
Her hands up there.
Those are the 3 grandkids, and they are so great. Well, I wanted to offer some thoughts as I retire, and I'll start by saying, it isn't too long, but I did want to make some comments. I'll start by saying that life is a joyous and joyful struggle. It's a joyful struggle. And I've been blessed with a wonderful wife and family, and more about them in a bit, and blessed really my entire life. It has been an honor and a pleasure to serve the people of San Dimas on the City Council. Lori and I moved to San Dimas in 1985, and we didn't plan to get involved in city affairs. But occasionally we would go to a city council meeting, mainly for the entertainment value, and sometimes I would say a few words. And I suppose you could blame Dennis Bertone, because Dennis appointed me to the General Plan Committee, and I got so excited about it that I ran for city council in 1990. And now all of a sudden it's 34 years later, and here we are. I found that most people want to live peaceful, contented lives. And that tells us on the city council, who represent these people, what our job really is, to provide a good quality of life so that the people of San Dimas can live in peace and contentment. That is our objective. And I want to thank my colleagues on the city council. We, as a team, and each bringing our own perspectives to the dais here, have pursued that objective. So, Emmett Badar, Ryan Vienna, Eric Weber, Eric Nakano, thank you, and I appreciate you. I also want to express my appreciation to past city council members with whom I've served: Dennis Bertone, Kurt Morris, Jeff Templeman, Sandy McHenry, and Terry Dipple. I'd like to thank our staff and city workers, from our city manager, Chris Constantine, and the management staff. That includes Deborah Black, our city clerk. to those who sit at desks figuring out how to do things, and those who are out fixing streets, planting trees, and keeping the buildings and parks in shape. The city council may make policy, but it's our workforce that makes the city what it is. Thank you also to the array of volunteers who make so much go so right. We couldn't do it all without you. And I'd also like to thank the Sheriff's Department for keeping us safe. And I'd like to thank outside governments and agencies like LA County, the Bonita Unified School District, Gold Line Construction Authority, Council of Governments, the library. We may have sued a couple of you at one time or another. Not the library, but you know who you are. But in the end, we are partners, and we benefit from working with each other. Now, I've discovered that change takes a long time. And I put that in capital letters. Change takes a long time. You get on the city council, and you think you can make a big difference right away. And then you discover there are other people on the city council, and there's a city manager. And then you have to figure out how to get things done as a team. I'll just mention a couple of things. I'm not going to have a long list here, but from both ends of my time on the city council. In 1990, I was proud to be in the majority when we made Martin Luther King Jr. Day an additional paid city holiday. Also in those early days, we opened the senior center and protected the foothills from being covered with houses. As I leave the council, we are almost finished with the downtown specific plan, and we are in the middle of trying to figure out how to keep affordable housing in San Dimas. So finally, I want to talk about the most important things that run through it all: family and community. To my lovely wife, Lori, you are sweet, loving, caring, and strong. You always have had my back through thick and thin, and I am grateful and blessed to be your husband. Thank you, Lori. And to my children, some of whom are watching online, and Philip, who is here. Christine, Philip, Beth, and Anthony, you are great. It's been a really long time, hasn't it? Like with Mom, I have always felt your love and support. I have always liked hearing what you think, from designs for the skate park to how to make downtown great. I'm proud of each of you for living that joyful struggle and always holding your heads high. As far as the community, I want to thank every person who has ever stepped up to that microphone, called, emailed, sent a text, talked to me at the store or walking on the sidewalk, came over to talk on my front porch, or showed up here at City Hall. You help us know what to do. Throughout my time on the City Council, I've tried to keep certain ideals in mind. Among them, peace and justice, kindness and respect, and that nature is good for us. I have endeavored to represent all the people of San Dimas, especially those who can't speak for themselves or feel they don't have a voice. So, thank you for a great career, a joyful struggle. To this community, I want you to remember, this is San Dimas. It's your town. Let's make it the best it can be. God bless you. Thank you.
John knows this, and it's time that everybody else knows this. His job's not done yet. We have a closed session coming up in about 10 minutes, and John needs to be there. So it will be a while. Lori, if you don't mind, we're going to keep him for another 10 minutes or so. And we all will have a good discussion in the next couple of weeks. And John has promised me he's not going away. So next thing I know, he'll be on some commission or something pushing us along. But John, thank you for everything you've done. Okay, and I had an opportunity to speak with Kurt and Jeff today, and they're surprised, but they both commented that what a great job you've done. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, meeting's adjourned for 10 minutes. We'll go into closed session. Does Jeff need to make any type of additional announcement? Chris, you want something to say?
No, the council is going into closed session to discuss one case of anticipated litigation, and we'll report out any actions at the end of the meeting.
Thank you.